Reggie Barlow from Tennessee State joins us. Coach, man, it's been a short term for you so far, a little over 3 months. Kind of bring us up to date from, let's just go back to D.C. You're in D.C., your season ends a Sunday night, you take the Tennessee State job. Kind of pick up the story from there. We may fill in some others backwards later.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was so honored and happy to be the head coach of the DC Defenders. Great fans there. UFL is happy to be a part of that. So glad that The Rock and Russ Brand and those guys gave me a chance to be the head coach there. So it's a good time. But then we get an opportunity to come to Tennessee State. We get the call about the interest here and made it here. Hit the ground running, obviously, because the timing of it was a little different, unorthodox. So the plan was to get here, to recruit the guys that had gotten in the portal, to try to recruit them back, and then give yourself some time to say, hey, we'll try to recruit these guys back. And then it was about recruiting the guys that stayed, because that was the most important part of it at that point. And then, of course, we had to add pieces to the roster, because there was seniors that left and then transfer guys. So our coaches did a good job of casting the net, led by Meshack, our recruiting coordinator, casting the net far and near to be able to bring some more student athletes here.
And this is almost an unfair question, but what have you learned in the last 3 months on the job that you didn't know about or didn't expect coming into it?
Well, I mean, I learned resiliency. Of course, we know and we hear that word a lot, but when we got here, the staff that we were going to bring, many of those guys were with the DC Defenders. They were the guys that I've coached with for extended period of time, and they were the guys that we want to bring here. Myself and Greg Williams was the only two that came instantly to be here. And then, of course, we were able to add a few other guys that we wanted on the staff. Coach said Thornton came, but it was just about resiliency and casting our net, and us having to, with trying to recruit guys with only three coaches, that stuff can start running together on you. But we made it through it, and grateful for that.
As part of media day, I don't ordinarily go down the deep list of coaches, but I've got two in particular. One which may surprise you, one which may not surprise you that I want to ask about. Let's start with Greg Williams. I mean, he's got a history in this city. Bringing him back to Nashville. Kind of talk about how that played out for you. I know you were together in D.C.
Yeah, so obviously, I was hesitant about bringing Greg because he beat my Jaguars. We were 14-2, and we lost 2 games to the Titans, and then of course we played them in the AFC Championship game and lost. So we talk about that all the time. But yeah, our relationship, friendship started back when I was a player, and then once I got an opportunity to go be with the DC Defenders, he and I had multiple conversations over extended period of time, and it was a good fit. Obviously, Greg has a lot of experience. He's coached a long time. He's seen it. He's done it. He has his way of doing things, and it was a real fit for us. Our first year up there with DC, had a good season, and then of course we maintained that over the last 3 years that we were up there in DC. So just good coach, smart guy, does it the right way. High energy. Greg is Greg. So we love working with them, and it's always so competitive at practice and all that type of stuff. But I've been able to learn a lot from him. This guy has a head coaching book. I mean, he's been a head coach in the NFL. He has a head coaching book about this thick that talks about building the program, selecting coaches, building the staff. I mean, it's just as thorough as you could imagine. So happy to have him here with us.
I'm going to ask you a question about a coach that might surprise you, but I've known Russ Hernfeld since our days together, just a little bit north of where you sit back in my undergrad days at Austin P. Russ Hernfeld, third stint as the O-line coach at Tennessee State.
Yeah, you want to talk about a heck of an offensive line coach. This guy knows he's a technician. He develops these guys. He coaches the right way. He's passionate about it. And just as good of coach he is, he's an even greater person. And I'm just happy. I've always wanted to work with Russ. When I was the head coach at Alabama State, I was trying to get him there. Kais and Fred Kais was there with us. So we're trying to get Russ, and it never could work out. And then when we got the shot to be the head coach at the DC Defenders, giving him a call and telling him, hey, we want you to come. And I mean, obviously, he's developed a lot of offensive linemen that have gone pro here. When we were coaching over in with the DC Defenders, we had multiple guys, maybe 3 to 5 guys that went pro as well. So we have a lot of respect for Russ, and he's a really good coach.
Okay, so how did you get the package to Gruden? He made some comments about you having beat or coaching you. Got to give us the background about that because that's the talk. That's kind of the talk of the summer right now is Gruden's uh, gifts that he's getting. So fill us in
Yeah.
on that.
So Gruden that's my guy. So grateful for him. When I was playing for the Jaguars and when I got released, he was the first person to call me. I had a chance to go maybe to I think the New York Jets, the Chargers, and then of course Oakland was the visits that I went on. And man, when I met him, his energy, his excitement, his charisma, I was just like, oh, I have to come play out here for the Raiders. So I go to the Raiders, and we were out there, and of course the fiasco with him and Mr. Davis, and I think he's the only coach I know who's been traded. So he was traded out to Tampa, and I finished up camp there and with the Raiders, and then of course he called again. Was like, man, come over here and play for us in Tampa. And just over the years, we've stayed in contact. He has his fired coaches association down in Florida, so we visit and talk with him about that. And this whole football thing with the gifts exchange of the shirts and all that stuff. So I was just impressed, man. Yesterday, he gave me some history I didn't even know about. I know Tennessee State has some great history here, but John Gruden did. That was to me, and maybe I'm biased, but I thought that was the best one that he's done with the jerseys and the hats and the pullovers and all that stuff. So really grateful that he gave us that pub.
Yeah, actually, here in the association, he's done a really good job. Wanted to ask you, kind of along the lines of what you just mentioned. Uh, so, what bit of advice have you gotten in taking this job since you've come to Nashville? Have you had someone kind of take it aside and say, Reggie, you really need to do X, or you really need to honor X, or you really, eh, what kind of advice have you gotten on the job?
Yeah, we've had open ears. We want our fans and our alums to be connected to the head coach and to the program. So obviously, we've had some engagements where we've invited former players back. We're actually doing one on August the 9th again, where we're just engaging and bringing those former players back because they've set the standard for what Tennessee State has been over the years, and we just want to embrace that. So have gotten a lot of encouraging comments from alums. My Woody McCorvey, who is a guy mentor of mine, he was the first person that called me when I got this job, and he was like, "Man, this is a really good spot for you. Blue blood program." Have put out a lot of great football players, and so I've gotten calls from people like Woody, who's a longtime college coach that knows what Tennessee State is all about. And, really grateful that those guys are reaching out and encouraging me and helping me out the way that we need them to.
So, in the last minute, uh, I got all the charts, I got everything, but who are some players that we need to be on the lookout for? Let's start on the offensive side. I saw Juice Morris in there, a couple of others. Who should we keep our eyes on? We're obviously like you having to learn this team.
Yeah, yeah, still learning names around here, I tell you. But yeah, Juice, we're excited about him coming back. We signed Jonathan Palmer, who's the nephew of Carson Palmer, Caleb McQuarrie, the other quarterback that transferred in for Troy. So we're looking forward to him. We got Starling that's coming back. Starling that played for us a few years ago at the running back position. We got Kendrick Rhymes, another running back that's transferring in. Obviously, Anthony on the offensive line. The O line has been just restructured. Breon Brown is a guy that transferred in from James Madison. Irby, 6'7" offensive tackle, transferred in from junior college over in Mississippi. Um, we had a young man that played at Alabama. He was a walk-on over at Alabama, but a really solid offensive lineman, nice size. So we've restructured the offensive line. Russ has a lot of guys that he'll be able to use at that position. So excited about those guys. We got some young receivers that we're excited about. They get a chance to show their stuff here in camp, and looking forward to seeing those battles to see who's going to be those top 4 to 6 wide receivers that'll be playing.
Coach, welcome to Nashville. Welcome to the OVC Big South, and we look forward to seeing you. You got a lot of work to do in a short period of time, and it seems like you've accomplished it. I don't need to tell you that. I'm the last person that needs to tell you that. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Yes, thanks. So thanks also.